Hi all. In today's session, we'll be looking at a small intro to this topic called linear equations. So we'll also look at what is the importance of this topic, why are we learning this topic, and what all will we be learning in this topic. So going forward, now what is the importance of this topic or why this topic? Now this topic, because it is the backbone of arithmetic. Now arithmetic as a module, okay, has a very important role to play in the examination. You see that you have at least 10 to 12 questions coming up in the CAT examination from this topic, right? Now the topics in arithmetic are percentage, profit and loss, SICI, time and work, time and distance, averages, something that we have dealt in a day-to-day life, right? Now over the past 10 years of my experience of writing CAT, right, and understanding these examinations, solving all the questions of arithmetic, which means becoming James Bond of this topic, can help you get a minimum of 70 percentile to a maximum of 95 percentile in these examinations, which means out of 4 important units of quant, right, if you are able to solve one unit perfectly, it can help us to get 70 percentile if the exam is very easy, and around 95 percentile if the exam is moderate to difficult level altogether. Now, what are the learning objectives when we are looking at this unit called, or when we are looking at this chapter called linear equations? Now, the major learning objective is we will be learning how to handle variables and equations, right? Second most important, objective is conversion of English into mathematics, which in short is nothing but word problems. Arithmetic as a unit has all the word problems in it, so it becomes very important for us to understand how do I convert English into mathematics, which means given words I convert into variables and equations. Once I have variables and equations, we need to also learn how to handle those variables and equations. Now in this, we will be looking at, as I discussed, we will be looking at linear equation. So what is linear equation? Linear as the term indicates that the highest power of the variable in any equation is 1. Right. Now in CAT, majorly we are looking at 1 variable questions, 2 variable questions, or a maximum of 3 variable questions in the linear equations category altogether. Right. So we will be looking at linear equation in 1 variable. So as the term indicates, it's a linear equation, which means the highest power being 1, and 1 variable, which means we are looking at only 1 variable being used. Now the most important point is this chapter was learned in standard 7. Right. So all that we'll be doing in our CAT syllabus is learning all those school level topics from the CAT levels point of view altogether. Right. So therefore we'll learn in the coming units or in the coming videos to see how do we handle a 1 variable question easily, which helps us to get an accurate answer as well as in the least possible time. Now what is the importance of 1 variable? Now I would like to tell you that rarely any institute teaches you a 1 variable questions, because we learned this in standard 7 and we stopped using 1 variable questions. Right. So we'll discuss where to use 1 variables and where to use 2 variables, but let's understand why am I using 1 variable, right? Because there is a thumb rule of equation saying that number of equations should be equal to number of variables to get a unique value of the variables, right? Which means if I'm using 1 variable, I need 1 equation to get the answer. If I'm using 2 variables, I need 2 equations to get the answer, and so on and so on and so on. Now the point is quite simple, guys. Less the number of variables, less the number of equations, and less the number of equations will help us save time in the examination. So there are certain areas where we by default assume 2 variables. We'll also look at if we assume a single variable, our job becomes easier and we'll be able to save time in the examination. Clear, guys? So going forward in the coming videos, we'll be looking at how do we solve equations. We'll also be looking at how do we frame equations. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you, guys.